One of my very favorite things to do of all time is to travel. And I've been fortunate enough to travel to many different parts of the world and continue to do so. This spring I'm going to be traveling to Slovenia for the first time. But today we are going to be traveling to Senegal. Now, not literally, but with our recipe today, which comes from the Family Circle Great Chicken Recipes book, which is from 1968. 207 kitchen-tested favorites. And today we're making Senegalese chicken casserole. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cook our chicken, and the recipe calls for a 3-pound broiler fryer. I ended up just getting a couple of chicken breasts and some drumsticks, and I'm going to call that a whole chicken. I know we're missing the thighs and whatever, just go with it. So, we've got a pan here, and we are going to put our chicken in. To our chicken, we're going to add some sliced onions. We're going to put some celery tops in there. And I've also got some curry powder, which I think is going to be what really makes the flavor profile of the dish. And then I've got some pepper and some salt, as well as a 1.5 cups of water. And I'm going to put that in there. And then we're going to put this on the stove and let that cook for 45 minutes. So there were a couple of things that I did off screen after my chicken was done. After I did let it go a little longer than the 45 minutes, just because I wanted to make sure it was done. And I used a thermometer to check, and it was. So I pulled my chicken off, I pulled it out of the liquid, and then I cut it up into these smaller pieces here. Before we get ready to put this into the oven, we have to first kind of do something with the stock that we created. And the first thing is we need to strain it. So I've got this over a 4-cup, a 1-quart measuring cup here. And so I'm just going to strain out some of the onions and celery that remain. I did pull out the big chunks with some tongs before I strained it here. Now we need 2 cups of liquid, and the recipe says that we are supposed to add some milk until we get that up to 2 cups. And now it's pretty much time to assemble this thing. I have a casserole dish here which has been buttered, and so that's ready to go. And then while I was cooking the chicken, I also cooked some peas and some noodles. Now, back in 1968, I doubt that they had microwavable packets of peas, but that's what I have here. So I did not cook this in a saucepan as it asked for. If I can open this here, let's see. Whew, I got it. So peas, they are going in there. And I also have these noodles. It calls for fine noodles. I did not see anything called fine noodles in my noodle aisle. So this is medium egg noodles, and that's 8 ounces of that, which was, for me, half a package. We're going to add our chicken. And this is already looking like a very full casserole here. And I also have some almonds that we lightly toasted. And we're going to mix this all up. Now at this point, there's only one more thing that needs to happen before this goes in the oven. And that is to combine 4 eggs, which I have whisked here. And I'm going to add that to the liquid that came off the chicken with the milk, and just combine that a little bit. I'm going to pour this over the top, lightly mix this in so that it goes farther down than just the surface, and then into the oven it goes. So I made a mistake. What's new? I was supposed to put a cup of cream into the liquid as well before I did that. So I'll just add it on top now and then put it into the oven. $325 oven for an hour. and then we're going to cover it and cook it for another 15 minutes, and then we pull it out and eat it. Well, it's out of the oven, and I have put some in a bowl. It's not quite as thick custardy as I thought it would be. There's quite a bit of liquid that's on the bottom. The way the recipe read, I thought this was going to be a thicker, like a set custard, but it's not. It's still very liquidy. It also says in the recipe to serve this with some diced red apples and coconut on top, which I have done. Which seems to be something I see a lot with American curries in the early to mid 1900s. So let's give it a try and see what this is all about. It's definitely a warm comfort food. It's got that creamy component to it. It's got that familiar flavor that you get with noodles and chicken and peas and all those sort of traditional flavors. I don't think that the curry flavor is overpowering, partly because there's not a ton of curry in it, and also I think because there's just so much other stuff that was added into this. But it's a warm, comforting food. I actually recommend this more than I thought I would. However, I will say it's very time consuming to make this, so be prepared for a lot of time. Nothing was very difficult about making this, but the time factor is something to weigh. I'm gonna eat this, and we'll see you next time.